Hello. It is 9:03 p.m. Tuesday, November 8th, here for the post-market recap and review video. So as mentioned in the pre-market analysis, we had zero economic data coming in the New York session today. However, that did not stop investors from jumping in the markets here today, as we had quite the volatile day here, as we can see on the US 500. We had a continuation of this optimistic sentiment, as yesterday we had a continuation buys. Overnight we pulled back to retest structure, and we had beautiful continuation into the previous sell side liquidity zone, where we had a strong reaction corresponding with this uptick on the volatility index as well. But since then, buyers have stepped back in and propped us back within this range here. So as you can see, we have a lot of volatility here, going up and down 60 points here on the S&P, and still closing within the range, and now starting to be indecisive here. So we were playing this optimistic sentiment, and we correlated that with the DXY that was respecting this bearish structure, printing consecutive lower lows, grab some more liquidity, lower lows again, a little bit of a 1 hour order block, break, retest during the London session, and we had the continuations of the dollar weakness throughout New York session. And on gold, the last daily candle had a massive break of previous liquidity zones here, a huge 400 pip candle breaking above this previous daily liquidity zone here. Okay, so we had a slowdown of the seller's trend here, where we created this new lower low. We had a big impulsive candle retesting the sell side liquidity. Since then, we had another retest of the zone, rejecting previous liquidity zone, coming down for a triple top before buyers step back in, aggressively close above, retest, and continue to the upside. So we do see some buyers coming back into gold. Now zooming into the 4-hour time frame, the strong impulsive buyers came in from yesterday's session here after the triple top on the higher time frame demand zone, creating new bullish structure, right? New higher highs on the 4-hour, and then we created some support here at the previous 1670 liquidity zone, and rejected and had that huge candle to the upside after forming this double bottom on the 4-hour. Now we see on the 1 hour here, we were ranging between this weekly break of structure 1681 and these lows around 1666. So I was cautious here in the pre-session analysis with this liquidity zone right here, this 1 hour order block, and my trade ideas was this liquidity zone that created this new lower low on the intraday time frames. If we could break back above this zone, then we could look for some continuation buys. Now, looking at the 1 minute time frame here, we can dissect the 1 minute price action above this 1 hour order block. So we had New York open around 1671, and we had almost done a little shift already of structure here, as vaguely this bear structure looks like this, creating these lower lows, lower highs, accumulation of orders here, a liquidity grab here, and then we're breaking back above and creating support here above these previous highs. So this was an early sign and early potential buys right at the New York Open here. However, the structure was still bearish below 1675 area. So waiting for this breakout, we had a nice retest of 1676, 1675 region before we had the explosion to the upside. So validate some buys here when we have this impulsive break and we're starting to create some bullish structure from these lows here, making consecutive higher highs and higher lows. And as soon as we break above this zone, we have the retest here and we create some 1 minute rejections, right? So there's two opportunities to enter here. Either aggressive entries at the retest of this 1 minute rejection as we had the bullish engulfing, come back to retest again, fail to break here. We have a nice aggressive entry potential right here. Or to decide to wait, well, once we have this series of events here, this double bottom and then this new higher high, we actually create, as you can see, this 1 minute order block that acts as a liquidity zone as price comes and taps that zone again one last time prior to exploding to the upside. So here provides a more conservative entry as we have the retest, double bottom, then we break above, so then we confirm that we're continuing this bullish trend, and then when we come to retest this zone, that provides a little bit of a safer entry here for the same exact trade. Because once it started running, there was no real opportunity to get back in, apart from potentially when we started creating a pullback here, and even then it was a very it wasn't a very clean double bottom here, but we did have the opportunity again once we had confirmations of this new high, higher low, the new higher high here. We had the secret a bullish continuation pattern here. Well, then there was the opportunity, as we have now this 1 minute order block set. Well, we had the nice retest of that right here prior to another push of about 100 pips to the upside here. Right, so playing the sentiment here, did not have to play any guessing games underneath this zone. We could have waited for that break and then the retest. Great entries here, 1675, 1676. With first targets at the weekly break of structure, and then any type of runner, we just have huge impulsive candles here. So you could just kind of ride the wave until we have real signs of reversal here. And the only signs of reversal I could see is, when we're dissecting this price action, just could trail or stop here. There's no bearish structure here. This is just a continuation pattern, another higher low. Even here, we're creating some support. Only when we get to about this area where we have a stronger reaction, failing to break, then we have accumulation of orders here, and we're starting breaking to the downside here. Only here do we start seeing a sequence of events that shows that we're exhausting on the buy side and potentially starting to form some bearish structure on the 1 minute. So if we're following market structure for a runner, well, we could have just exited right here after signs of reversal here, and that would be a 380 pip winner right there. So obviously this doesn't happen every day, but when you have such explosive price action and you're holding a runner, trailing the stop loss can result in insane gains if you do have the discipline to hold throughout that market structure. So that's it for today. Great volume and volatility as we are coming and starting to create some more bullish price action here. Going forward, you can definitely have some continuations if we break back above the 1712s and have a continuation up to 1725s here. Or if not, then we may have a little bit of a deeper pullback to potentially retest the 1700s prior to some more buys in play here. So I'm going to be continuing with this sentiment, and And yeah, that's it for today.